What is going on, fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives and Make Money Online Trainer podcast. It's your boy, Brian Mark. And in today's episode, we're talking about this idea of locking the fuck in. Lock in. Do what needs to get done if you want to be successful. I just finished up a 5-day writing trip. And on that 5-day writing trip, I wrote a book that has 70,000 words. And right after I finished the book, I got on 3 calls with 3 different people that can help me get my book published. I got my book accepted from a publisher. It's currently getting edited and formatted, and it will be in the market within 3 months. I literally did that in a fucking week. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because I feel like a lot of the major moves that I've made in my life have been made exactly like that. When I launched the Change Lives Academy, which is currently the #1 business coaching program for online fitness coaches, we've working with over 1,800 active clients at this point. We've got 400 students, over $10,000 a month. I started that program with my business partner, Cole. We had a conversation one day, and a week and a half later, we had the member portal built. We built the first webinar, and we sold our first 30 clients. Lock the fuck in. And when I started my online fitness business, it was the same thing. I was in Bali for 3 weeks. I had no money. I made a decision I was going to start my online fitness business. In that 3-week time span, not only did I start my online fitness business, I made $5,000 in 3 weeks. I locked the fuck in. I did the same thing when I started this online trainer podcast. I just made the decision I wanted to start a podcast. I hired the guy, cost me $5,000. I got the outro, the intro, the cover art, got it on podcast platforms, bought a podcast microphone. I started recording podcasts. Fucking 6 years later, here we are. Lock the fuck in. There's so many things that you guys want to do that you're on the fence about, that you've thought about for maybe months, years on end. And the only reason you're not doing it is because you haven't locked in. You haven't taken the time to isolate yourself in the world and separate yourself from everybody else and get yourself in a place where you can be fully focused and get the shit done that you need to get done. Lock in. And the reason we don't do this shit is because we don't believe we're going to be successful. We don't believe it's going to be worth it. We don't believe it's worth the investment. But like for me, it's like, I always imagine the alternative. Like, it's like, what is the alternative to me not locking in? If I don't lock in, what's going to happen? I'm going to continue living my life, and I'm going to continuously wonder what would have happened if I did the thing I said I wanted to do. How big would my business have gotten if I decided to do the podcast? How big would my business have gotten if I decided to go all in on YouTube? How big would my business have gotten if I decided to post 2 times a day, every day, 7 days a week on Instagram? I never want that to be a thing. And full transparency, I remember getting on a jet, and this is why it's so fucking important to surround yourself with people that are at higher levels than you. I hired Dan Martell for 6 months of one-on-one coaching. It was a very hefty investment, over $50,000. And the reason I hired Dan Martell is I wanted to be around people that are at a different level than me. So when I hired Dan, we literally went on this like tour of the United States, and I came with him to like 5 or 6 different cities where he was doing book signings. So I'm watching Dan do these book signings, and I'm on this fucking private jet with this dude. And like Dan Martell, before he wrote Buy Back Your Time, he had a good social media account. Like it was fucking like he had like I think 70,000 followers on Instagram. He had 300 or 400,000 followers on TikTok, less than 100,000 followers on YouTube. So like he had a good social media following. Then he wrote Buy Back Your Time, and his brand and his reputation literally skyrocketed in front of my eyes. I was watching him, like I've known Dan for years, and like Dan's always been a fucking G, but like literally writing the book Buy Back Your Time and watching it hit the bestseller list and watching what happened to his life after that and being in close proximity to that, I just made the decision. I was like, I'm fucking doing that. I'm doing it. I was like, I don't know how, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I'm fucking doing it. And so I made the decision I was going to lock in. It was like 3 weeks ago. I was in this hypnosis with my hypnotherapist, and I had this intuition come to me that I needed to write a book. So I was like, okay, I feel like I need to isolate myself in order to write this book. So as soon as I had the intuition, I booked a trip, a 5-day trip by myself, brought my videographer to basically document the journey. PS, it's going to be on YouTube soon. I'm excited to show you guys. And I just locked myself in a fucking house and in multiple coffee shops for 5 days on end until I wrote 70,000 words. I didn't know how I was going to get the book out into the world until I got to Calgary. Once I got to Calgary and I started writing, then I started thinking, okay, how am I going to get this shit out to the world? I reached out to a few of my friends who are contacts in the industry. I ended up finding a guy. I paid him $20,000 for 8 weeks of one-on-one coaching. He introduced me to a guy that got me published, got me accepted by a publisher who's editing my book, who's going to help me with the audiobook, help me with the cover, help me format the book. I paid him 30 grand. And just like that, I just made the decision I was going to lock in. I invested in myself. And here we are. Literally 7 days after leaving for Calgary, I've already got the book done, and it's currently in the process of getting edited so it can be published. 7 days. Lock the fuck in. And I get it. You might be listening to this podcast and you're like, easy for you to say, you just spent $50,000 in a week to solve the problem. Dude, I've done that since I had $0. I've done that since I had no fucking money. My first mentor cost me $15,000. I didn't have $15,000. I had to borrow money in order to make that investment so that I could get around the right person so that I could lock in. But as soon as I fucking got in that coaching program, as soon as I paid that 15 grand, I locked in. I was literally studying the course, studying the portal, showing up to the coaching calls, asking questions, getting support so that I could get to my goals faster. I just locked in. And so many of you guys, the only reason you haven't achieved success isn't because you're not capable, qualified, worthy, or you don't deserve it. It's because you're not locked in. You're not fully focused. You're not tapping into the modules. You're not watching the fucking course. You're not investing in yourself. And you're like one of those people that's like, oh, I don't need to invest in myself. I do this on my own. And so you sit here listening to free fucking podcasts like this, not investing in yourself. Your business isn't growing and you're wondering why. Because you're not locked in. Because if you were locked in, you wouldn't think about whether or not you needed to invest in yourself. You would invest in yourself because you know it's going to get you close to your goals. And this one goes out to my clients. A lot of you guys invest in yourselves and then you sit on the fucking fence and you do absolutely nothing because you think as soon as you fucking pay the mentor that magic's going to happen with your business. Locking in doesn't just mean you hire the mentor. Locking in means you hire the mentor and you do the fucking work. And the cool part about that is my clients that do lock in, that do buy the course and then actually do the fucking work, that are showing up to coaching calls, getting support, coming to live streams, like implementing the homework, step by step by step by step. Like those are the clients you see me post on my Instagram. Those are the clients you see posting like $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. It's on the other side of locking in. There's no fucking secret to success. There's no blueprint. There's no like magic trick. There's no fairy dust. I post 6 times a day, every day, 7 days a week on social media. That's called locked in. And I'm not saying you need to post 6 times a day, every day, 7 days a week on social media in order to be locked in. But I'm saying what you're doing is not fucking enough. And I'm going to be the coach. I'm going to be the mentor in the space that says like, work fucking harder. Because I think there's too many baby back bitches in this space that think you can post 1 time a day or not post at all. And you're just going to build this business off willy-nilly fucking ads that are just going to magically bring you clients like some sort of fairy dust magic trick. It's stupid. You guys aren't locked in. You should be posting more. You should be working harder. You should be studying more. You should be fucking locked in. And if you're not locked in, that's probably why you're not making money. Because any single one of my clients that I talk to that's locked in on content, on DMs, on sales, on making money, on learning, man, it's easy to be successful once you have all the fundamentals. All you got to do. Do I got to say it again? Fuck. I got to say it again. I said, all you got to do. I'll say it one more time because I feel like you guys didn't fucking understand me the first 10 times I said it. All you got to do is lock in. Cut out the distractions. Cut out the noise. Invest in yourself. Get out of your own fucking way. Once you've invested in yourself, make the decision that you're literally going to do every fucking thing that is required of you to get to that next level. And in 6 months' time from now, if you do that for 6 months straight, you're going to look up and you're going to realize you have a successful business. Have the best day of your entire life. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.